Fiona and Cake Season 2 Episode 9 is here. And so with that said, as always, I'll be breaking down the episode, covering anything that happens, giving any theories I may have, and giving my overall review of the episode. So consider dropping a like and subscribing to the channel. And now let's dive into Fiona and Cake Season 2 Episode 9, which is titled The Worm and His Orchid. The episode begins with us seeing Fiona and Huntress Wizard's minds connected, but Fiona then actually goes into Huntress Wizard's memories, in which she sees her childhood home burning down, where we then see Huntress Wizard saying that she's never gonna get back home and that she's never gonna save Finn. Just actually showing Huntress Wizard's true emotions on everything that's going on, that she really does just put on this tough act, but inside is actually just crying. But Fiona then hugs Huntress Wizard and all the flames go away as the heart of the forest then enters the room, and it actually was going to allow Huntress Wizard to kill it, but instead of killing it, she just praises it, as the deer then turns her back into her normal self. And then the deer just actually gives her an exit, which Fiona then also decides to go through, as we then see this pink portal start to form around their actual selves, thus transporting Cake as well. But we then see Fiona just falling depressed, saying that this will just be another world for her to destroy, and saying that she pulls everyone down, just literally fully giving up. And then as she lands in an alien monster's mouth, she even says that this is what she deserves. But then Fiona actually gets cut out by none other than Fern, who actually is surprisingly not an alternate version of Fern, but just actually Fern. I genuinely did not expect to see Fern in this episode whatsoever, or actually in Adventure Time again ever, as obviously he's dead. But then again, it's not really that crazy, as we've gone to the dead worlds and have seen people brought back to life like Jake before. So really anything in this show is possible, but it's truly so great to see Fern again. But we then go back to Cake, who talks to this giant worm, as he then says that this place is called the Undergrowth, and that he's called the karmic worm, and that eating these red berries, which I guess are pain, is more or less his job. But also that if someone in the multiverse pushes down a thought, it basically ends up here and he processes it, making it so it can fruit again onto these trees. I wonder if this is in any way related to the tree of Marceline's memories we saw in the episode Memory of a Memory in Adventure Time, but it really reminded me of that episode. The worm then takes Cake to go look for Fiona. Meanwhile, we go back to Fern and Fiona, as Fiona asks Fern if he's Finn's doppelganger, as he says he used to be, only if she knew the mental toll and overall duality that happened between Fern and Finn in Adventure Time. Like, his arc is actually just tragic. But then he actually reveals to her that he remembers dying in Ooh, but that when he died, his consciousness appeared here, saying that he wanted to be Finn but is something else. This scene just also confirmed that this was actual Fern and not an alternate version, which makes me so happy that he's alive, yet kind of sad, as we know that this is the place where pressed down memories go. I mean, as we saw in the finale, Fern was on the side of the villains fighting against Finn and the others, but then by the end was of course helping them fight Gold. Like, he had his entire life and morals completely changed in the matter of like 40 minutes, so it truly kind of makes sense that he would end up here. As they arrive at where Fern apparently lives, Fiona touches one of the red balls and actually sees the moment when Finn lost his arm, as well as a memory of Finn and Huntress Wizard playing BMO, as Finn then says that she can beat him at video games more often if she comes to live with him, and he actually just takes a swing and a miss, as she looks at the other way nervous, whilst he just thinks that he messed up. But then she goes into another memory, as we see the moment that Finn probably watched Jake die, which I was not ready to see, and Fern even pulls her away from it, saying that she doesn't want to see that one, which makes me think that the moment that Jake dies, or just how he dies, is extremely traumatic. From the Distant Lands episode Together Again, Finn literally said to Jake once he saw him again after he died, that his entire life since he died, he was waiting for himself to die just to see Jake again, and we saw him literally basically having straight PTSD from the event. I really want to see the moment and see just how Jake died and see Finn's overall reaction, but I know that it would actually just destroy me, bro. But Fern then says that all of these balls are memories and feelings that Finn is basically not ready to move on from, and there is quite a few of them. He obviously went through a lot in his childhood, but besides Jake dying, I wonder if there's any other traumatic events that occurred in Finn's life that we haven't seen yet. But we then see Huntress Wizard, who runs into the Witch Wizard, who is basically gone crazy with power lust over the heart of the forest, and as she laughs evilly, Huntress Wizard thinks of Finn, as we see her probably get the angriest she's ever been and just jump her. But we then go back to Fiona, who looks through all of her friends' memories, as we see see that Gary had a rough childhood, LSP is having encounters with this alien from Venus, as well as Marshall obviously getting scolded by his mother. But she then sees Hunter's memory, seeing him mad about blowing off the meeting, and that he just wishes that she would get her shit together, which I think every person in this series completely agrees with. And Fiona starts to get mad at herself, and Fern tells her that she should stop looking at them, but then she goes into her own memory, seeing her as a kid just getting called a stray, as well as then seeing the memory of Simon just disintegrating in front of her, as she then says that all she does is hurt everyone around her and starts crying. Finally, some good Fiona character development, her acknowledging and actually seeing what her actions cause, as well as the impact behind them, as all of her friends have actually just been through it. But on top of that, she has also been through it. But just seeing her let it out and acknowledge it, like she's finally going to do something to change her actions and be better, it was good to see, especially after all of the build up so far in this season of her making mistake after mistake. But we then go back to Huntress Wizard fighting Witch Wizard, and probably the best animated fight in all of Adventure Time, which Huntress Wizard is of course the victor of. But we then go back to Cake and the Worm, as Cake actually gets some character development as well, actually saying out loud how she feels, which is obviously that she feels like she's something that she's not. But the Worm then basically says that he likes her powers, as he then sings a song about how people and their memories can always transform, and that this world is basically just like Cake, as literally everything is always changing here. As Cake then sings and starts to actually embrace just being Cake. This was actually just the perfect scene to finally address Cake's problems throughout the series. This song was actually really good. It was probably written by Rebecca Sugar, as she worked on the writing and storyboard of this episode. But we then go back to Fern and Fiona, who then meet up with Cake and the Worm, but the Worm then actually reveals that his job here is a prison sentence, saying that him and his brother got pinched and that he was banished here, before it's then revealed that his brother is of course none other than Cosmic Owl. A lot of people were theorizing that the Cosmic Owl's brother could be Prismo, but having it be a new character who actually serves as a really good plot device for Fiona and Cake was honestly just really good writing. But Cake then breaks the news to the Worm that Cosmic Owl is dead, but the Worm then says that his kind are like ideas and that they're hard to kill outright, before he then just cracks the memory open and the Cosmic Owl is just back alive, just like that, as the two then give their apologies to one another and just overall have a really cute reunion. But we then return to the Cosmic Court, as we see Orbo talking to Finn while he's literally on his deathbed. But the Cosmic Owl then returns to his body, who then actually demands that they let Finn go and that he got killed on purpose. And Orbo says that now that he's back, he can get back to business, but the Cosmic Owl then just quits, which I don't think he can do, as his job as the Cosmic Owl is a punishment. Maybe Orbo will let it slide, but I doubt it. Nonetheless, we then go back to Fiona and the others, as Huntress Wizard tells Fiona that it's her time to go home. But as Fiona asks Cake if she's ready to leave, Cake says that she actually wants to stay here, curious about this place and what it has to offer, but of course also about the Worm, who is clearly going to be Cake's love interest moving forward. But Huntress Wizard, Fiona, and Cake all then hug, as Huntress Wizard thanks Cake for all of her help and tells Fiona that she's not a broken tool and is actually amazing. Just a really wholesome ending for the three of them. Huntress Wizard then goes with the Witch Wizard back to Ooh, as we then cut back to Princess Bubblegum, Marceline, and Simon, as Princess Bubblegum reveals that Finn's organs are failing and that at any moment now he could die, as she then says that there's no other choice and that they have to call Finn's mom. The next episode is the last episode of the series, and I'm just not completely positive that Minerva is gonna be the thing that saves Finn after all of this, so I assume that in the next episode that's just gonna be a funny little scene whilst Huntress Wizard finds the real cure that's gonna save Finn. Nonetheless, this episode was actually really good. I mean, once again, Rebecca Sugar wrote and storyboarded on this episode, so it makes sense. We finally actually got character development for Fiona and Cake, but also a little bit for Huntress Wizard as well, with us seeing and Fiona seeing just how badly she really wants to save Finn. I mean, we already knew, but this just truly expresses it even more. Nonetheless, we also had Fern's return, which was also just insane, as I talked about earlier. It was actually just so great to see him again, especially in this cool place that they were in, just a place where we can also see a bunch of other characters' memories and things that they've gone through, with even us seeing Fiona look into Finn's memories and see the moment that Finn probably lost Jake, which is actually insane that they would even think to tease us with a clip like that. I truly hope we do see the full thing. But the main big things in this episode is obviously the fact that the Cosmic Owl is back and that Finn is now free from being put in the Citadel or in the Pain Vortex. It's actually crazy that so much has happened while Finn is just just unconscious through all of it. He is actually missing so much, but it's so good to see just how many people care about him and want to save him. Like, there ain't no way they let Finn die. So if he actually does in this last episode, it's gonna be insane. I really hope he doesn't, and that Huntress Wizard manages to find another cure, or maybe somehow Minerva will actually come in clutch somehow, but I guess we'll just have to see. But nonetheless, that's gonna be the end of the video. So drop a like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see y'all in the next one, whenever that is.